How are you guys doing? This is Gay Talk with B. I'm B, of course. Just give you guys an update. It's been a while, but I always want to, like I said before, I only want to come on and give you guys these encouragement podcasts whenever something's new going on, when something is exciting, or whenever there's a change. So I always want to be raw and authentic with you guys. I always want to make sure that anytime I'm speaking from encouragement or any topic, it's always real. It's something that's actually going on for myself. And that just leads me right into the topic of, have you guys ever been to that place in your life where you feel like you're at that big standstill? You have did all the things that you can do to make sure your dreams are being accomplished, to make sure that you're following in line with your goals, to make sure you're saving for your goals, you're encouraging yourself, you're reading your Bible, you're reading your script, your motivation quotes, you're doing all the things that lead you to success, and you still find yourself at that standstill. You still find yourself questioning what is going on. Why am I at this brick wall? Which is what I'm going through right now. You guys have been with me, since the quarantine, since March. I have started the podcast. I have did the trading for the Forex. I have went to school. I have, moved to a different city. I have been now gotten into a relationship. My family has grown. Things have changed dramatically for me for the good, but it still feels like on the goals and on the accomplishments that I wanted to accomplish by this time, it still feels like I'm falling short. And, those are the times where I want to be able to give you guys the podcast. Those are the times where I want you guys to really understand how it works and how hard it is to maintain these things, because it's so easy for us to slip and fall back and forget about the main purpose of the goal. But what I want you guys to do, as well as myself, is continue to build on that little piece of fire that's burning, because it still burns. That's just because the flame isn't as big as it was before. It still has a little light to it. And you hold on to that little light. You get that light and you strike that match and you keep going. You go off it, and even if it changes, things are altering. The goal is now shifted from school to now work, from work to business, from business to self-employed. Whatever it is, stay firm into whatever you're doing and know that all things will work together for the good and the bad. Whatever comes up on your journey. I have had a lot of changes come on. And like I say, I questioned my ability. I questioned myself, and I kind of got down. I'm like, wow, here I am. Here it is August, and I'm on episode 43. And yet I'm at this big standstill. Yet that fire that I had to speak and to talk, it's now where I'm questioning, is it something that I want to go on for? Is it something that I want to change gears for? Or do I continue to drive in this hole? And that's when I have to tell myself, you're crazy if you're thinking about giving this up. You're crazy if you're thinking about giving all the steps that you have put towards this podcast and your dreams and your goals on speaking and making sure you encourage and break those barriers for the youth. You're crazy if you're thinking that all this was for nothing. God God knows exactly what's in your path and in your journey before you start it. It's never going to be easy. It's never going to be so smooth and silky where it's successes that no. It's going to be those times where you fall short, you question, you go away for a couple months or a year, but keep that fire burning. That's the only advice I can give to myself and to you guys. In those midst of those times when your goals are finding itself being more challenging than ever, because now you're trying to fit those goals into work life, mommy life, spouse life, friend life, social life, all those things. You're still trying to put in your goals and still make sure you stand firm on your other relationships. Those are the trying times. Those are the times where I want you guys to really, really go into your meditation state and really find that spot and dig deep in it. It's now 6:40 at night, and I'm just getting off of work at 6, and I'm working a now full time, 8-hour shift Monday through Friday, back to that corporate life. And here I am, finding myself thinking, where does the podcast fit in that? Where does the time fit into me being able to encourage you guys? Where does the time fit for me to be able to encourage myself? And I had to stop and I had to find that little piece of moment. And that's what made me get on here. I'm still sitting in my car. I haven't even walked in my home yet. Because that's that little piece of that flame that I want to keep going. No matter what happens in my life, no matter what changes happen, I'm going to stand firm on my goals. And I want you guys to stand firm on your goals, no matter what it looks like now. That's why I got up to episode 43, because of all those changes that went into my life. And I told myself, I'm only going to get back on this podcast when God gives me that voice, when he gives me that message to give to someone else, including myself. All the messages I have given you guys have been on solely messages that have come to me. You know, they've been messages that I want to hear someone tell me. And I want to be the one to tell you guys, don't give up on your dreams. No matter how it looks, no matter how far you come or how little you came, stay on it. I don't care if your dream is this big to a person whose dream is moving right now. You stand firm on your dream and you keep going. Whether your product isn't selling like it was or whether it's booming like it was, keep going. Because those are the times where the challenging times that are going to build you to be the better person you are going to be successful. That's that barrier we're breaking down. Break that barrier of emotional stress, of emotional ties, of things that we feel like, I can't do it. It's impossible. Remember, I told you guys, when it feels impossible, when it feels uncomfortable, when it feels easy to give up, that's that change that you want to make sure you recognize in your life. Don't give up on it. Walk through that door. Find a way, find a time, find a little place. Like I say, I went from having all the time in the world to build onto my podcast. And now I'm back in the corporate world because I have to now, finance a bigger family. I have to now, plan bigger, trips. Things are different now. But I wanted to make sure this podcast, this baby, this one for myself, it stays into that change. I just have to find a way to incorporate that into my new life. That's all you guys have to do. Whatever changes come into your life, your dream is first. Your job is second. Don't allow your job to suppress your dream. Keep your dream first, no matter what it is. And I had to tell myself that because I'm telling you guys, it's so easy to let your dream fall on the back burner because of that corporate Monday through Friday life, that life that is going to create that dead end for you, because it's not something that's going to grow your purpose. It's something that's paying your bills. It's something that's making, life a little easier, but it's not going to bring that success out of you unless you're in the field that you want to be in. I tell you guys, I'm in healthcare. I enjoy my job. It's great money, great benefits, but it's something that I don't want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to become successful into the healthcare. I want to be able to be that community liaison. I want to be able to break those barriers. I want to be able to encourage the youth. I want to be able to encourage you guys. My gift is my voice. My gift is speaking. That's why I don't want to give up on it. But when I found myself being quiet, when I found myself not even having a message, when I found myself not even knowing what to say on the podcast, that's when I had to be real with you guys and I had to back up. I had to give myself that time. And I told my dude, I told him, I'm not going on a podcast until I get that message. I don't want to do a podcast until it's real and authentic, because I want you guys to sit back and put the headphones on or blast your speaker or whatever way you listen to a podcast and understand what I'm saying. Understand that this is where I'm at in my life. And I'm sure a lot of us are. That pressure of the world opening back from quarantine, that pressure of us changing, of Christmas coming, Thanksgiving coming. We got to jump into doubles, working hard. We got to get that Christmas out of the way for our kids. All the things that life takes us, we don't want to forget that dream. We don't want to forget anything, even school. I had to stop school this semester. That crushed me. But I had to recognize that I'd rather for me to take this small loss on school and jump back in next semester before I find myself failing for this online class. I can't learn that way. I had to tell myself that. So I went full time to work and less time in school. But that made me think that I had failed. I felt myself. I felt my dreams. I felt you guys. I was on this cloud of encouraging and success. And I felt as soon as I came low that was it for me. But I had to understand that those are the times that it grows me, that grows you. Those are the times that God is pulling you back into your shell to remap you, to give you a new blueprint. If we was to build a house right now, that house will be, how many times the architect erase, scratch, go back to the drawing board. That perfect house is not built on one setting. It takes a erase pad. It takes a pencil, a marker, a highlighter, all things to come to make that home now perfect to be built. That's all we're doing. We can be so high on our goals and God brings us back down and say, come back to the blue table. Come back to the round table. Pull the blueprint out. See what needs to be changed. That window doesn't fit well right there. Put a door there. Okay, take that door out and put a window there. Instead of 2 bathrooms, put 3 bathrooms. I mean, just the metaphor speaking, but that's the way our life goes. And that's the way we have to grasp our goals on anything that we do. We have to understand that God is going to bring those changes in our life only to grow us. So don't feel like you failed yourself, your goals, your children. Feel like I'm going to now remap this and make it better. I'm now going to bring this into my life so I can see exactly what needs to be done. Because we can find ourselves, like I said in the previous podcast, on this road of success, and we forget to alternate. We forget that alignment. We forget that all things need to be shifted. We can only plan for the future, but it's up to God to actually give it to us. You know, we can pray for an advance, but we still have to always take what is given to us. And that's what I had to put into my mind. I found myself, like I say, it made me very down, you know, not to always sound so depressing and so everything makes me down. But I want to be real with you guys. I don't work well under that pressure of failure. And I had to tell myself, you're not failing. You're just alternating. You're just at the tune-up shop. And whenever you come out that shop, you're going to be great. You're going to be on top. And I'm maybe going to be able to give you guys more content. I'm going to be able to give you guys exactly what is needed for this journey to continue to build Gate Talk. Gate Talk is my baby. Gate Talk with B is not going anywhere. I want you guys to just know that these are the times, including in your business, that you're going to have to take that time out. Be raw and authentic with yourself. Really see your goals, really dig into your goals and really see, do you need to come back to the round table, or is this goal going to keep driving on the success road for you? I had to come back to the round table. I had to come back and see exactly where Gate Talk fits in my life now. And it worked. It's here. I'm excited again. That fire, that little fire that was there is now becoming that flame again in my life. Gate Talk is now growing. Like I say, my mom was a great person. She was good with her words. That's all I remember. I don't remember much of her. But when people run into me, they say, you're just like your mom. Something about the way you speak, something about the way you encourage people, something about the way you're always willing to help someone. It reminds me of just like your mom. So for that reason, I want to start a foundation for my mother in her name. And that's going to tie in with Gate Talk. So it comes into my, you know, that kind of stuff comes into light only when you go back to the round table. Because here I was in March when I started this, I never had any intention on starting a foundation in my mother's name. I never had any intentions of even knowing that this was going to tie into the death of my mom. You know, she's been gone 21 years and I'm 29. You do the math, you know, it's been a long time. I haven't had my mom in my life, and I always wanted her to know and see the success I have in my life and see the journey and the purpose I have now. But I understand that God was showing me she's here, and this is the purpose of the podcast. This is the why of the why. This is the why the vision was given to you to even do podcasts. You're living out a legacy that you didn't even know you were living out. So that was my reason. And that's why I needed that time away from this show. That's why I needed that time to regroup my thoughts, to regroup Gate Talk, to understand what Gate Talk, where Gate Talk is taking me. Because that's the thing. I think I'm controlling my dream and my purpose, but my purpose is really controlling me. I just have to step back and understand that things are going to work the way it is. That's that good karma I tell you guys. You put it out there, it's going to come back. And before you know it, you're on cruise control on your dreams, on your purpose. It works. It really does. It's like I say, you're tying on emotions that you don't even know you're tying on. By you having that fear, that doubt, and that failure in yourself, you're now putting other things out. I was angry. I couldn't understand why I was so angry. I couldn't understand why I was starting to be so mad again. I couldn't understand why I was feeling so just irritable every time it came to me ready to go to work. Because you know what? I was telling myself I had failed on myself. I was telling myself I failed on Gate Talk. I was telling myself I failed on school. I was telling myself I failed on even you guys. But I had to understand I didn't fail anything. I needed that time. Now I'm ready to pull that purpose back out, and I'm ready to move forward, and I'm ready to give the content the way it needs to be done. That's why I give these shows in the raw and authentic moments of myself. These is more than a podcast to me. Like I tell you,